Just saying, it happened. No, I really did do it though. Hello, everyone. James, he hasn't even got his headset on. He has no idea right now.
Yeah, he should just get his hands on some Beats by Dre already.
Oh, Beats by Dre are such a fantastic headset. Like, I can't even begin to tell you that audio quality. Like,
Just click the link below for the affiliate, programs.
I always thought headphones had enough of an imbalance towards the low end, and then Beats came out, and then I was like, wow, no, I was wrong. I needed way more low end in my life. And look, I didn't need to hear those crystal clear top ends. Nothing. Look, anything above 6K is pretty wasted in a mix, if you ask me. So look, Beats.
Humans can't even hear above 6K.
Beats.
That's dogs.
Beats helped me with that.
Hey, Kluger, what about style and look?
Oh yeah, I forgot. So look, one thing about your headphones, you have to make sure you look cool while you're wearing them, even if you haven't got them playing any music. So, Beats by Dre, great job on your marketing.
I don't even plug in my
Beats.
Beats.
The fucking best, man. Like, come on, man. Any true audiophile knows that Beats by Dre is the best.
I found like the best article on Beats by Dre. Like I think I googled Beats by Dre review, and that's such a good article title. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. Yeah, I think I've got it here. It's just loading. Hang on. Here, the article is titled, "If you read this review and still buy Beats headphones, you're an idiot." I like this guy. No offense to anyone who thinks they're good, but like I just can't stand them personally.
But like all the Beats in the world. So realistically speaking, how much can you expect to pay for a pair of Beats?
I think I can safely say too much.
Like 250 plus.
Yeah.
Really?
They're steep.
Pretty savage.
It sounds like more like 3 much than too much. Jesus.
Yeah, dude. Like not to be like
Who has kids
a
amongst this
complete
group?
sellout
right now,
for a brand that I am legitimately an affiliate for, but these here Logitech headphones are than that. They're wireless and do a whole bunch of other stuff and are pretty great.
And look, you're under no obligation.
Such a
but,
shill.
you know,
Such a shill.
YouTube.com/theroleplaygamer. I mean, he's got an affiliate link everywhere. Like, if you ever need Logitech
He's
gear,
recording right now. He's streaming this right now. Direct to Logitech.
there's like two.
And they
It's
go,
going to be followed up by live footage of him actually like tonguing their butthole.
for every video, stream, and Twitter link I send them, they go, yeah.
There's probably
and
two.
they put it into their furnace of just hopes and dreams and consumers' souls, and they use it to craft the next great mouse.
There's two guys just off camera right now, like in Rick's house, standing there, just like making sure there's sufficient shout out. Otherwise,
With Logitech branded firearms.
yeah. And now that you've acknowledged their existence, they're going to murder you straight after this.
They've all got light up G's on them. It's fantastic.
No, please! I said good things! No!
Thank you for joining our video on demand, brought to you by Roleplay Gamer.
Sponsored by Logitech.
So good.
By Logitech.
Hey, James, those are Logitech headphones, though, aren't they?
Oh yeah, man.
And mine are unbranded, so they may as well be like they don't have any branding on them, so they're Logitech now, basically.
Yes.
I have a Logitech keyboard that lights up.
Yeah, me too, actually.
I have Logitech 2.1 speakers that are kind of, I wish I didn't have.
Oh, here's my best bit of Logitech
Oh,
gear, though.
it's those ones. Those
Yes.
ones are awful.
How's this for Logitech? Yeah.
Isn't
I'm
that,
doing it.
Oh, fuck.
Like the worst
You
mouse
ruined
on the
it.
planet because it's
Yes,
a Razer.
Razer by Logitech.
Razortech by Logi.
Razer Tech.
I've got Astros A50s.
Mate, Status Audio OB1.
Kenobi one?
Yeah, bro.
Wait, what?
Just stop. Look, so much space jar right in this place right now.
Does your
So-
desk make you feel like a corporate shill when you sit down at it?
Wait, me or roleplay?
Roleplay.
Sorry, when I sit down at what? I
When you
missed
sit
that.
down at your desk, does it make you feel like a corporate shill? 'Cause of
No,
the sheer amount of
not
Logitech
really.
all
Look,
over it.
most of my stuff doesn't light up enough with the with a Logitech G symbol. You know, like for example, my mouse here is the 10-year-old G5, right? That doesn't light up sufficiently. My speakers are fairly old; they don't light up. My webcam, I guess it lights up a little bit. But to be perfectly honest with, also like I've got a DualShock 4 controller because I wouldn't be caught dead anymore with a Logitech controller because
Bro,
I'm terrible.
represent.
But, you know, this lights up. This lights up, but it hasn't got the G symbol. That's a real problem.
So you can.
My screens don't light up properly.
You're so depressed right now.
I know.
What you need is more light up G symbols.
That's right. Exactly. That's what I need. The thing that would really make me happy is for Logitech to produce a decent quality USB condenser microphone that lights up with a G symbol. That would make me
And
really
strobes
happy.
like through every color, right? Like just
Yeah,
full
like,
RGB suite.
right in my eyes.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because I've had experience lighting up G symbols before and with some strobing action. So
I think
Yeah.
it might be like not quite the
No
right
one, no one likes a bragger dog.
just credit where credit's due. That's all I'm saying.
So how's that affiliate link working out for you anyway, Rick? I mean, like you probably just made 4 sales right now and this video hasn't even been uploaded yet.
I
So
wish, dog. I wish. You know,
I'm on the Logitech website right now.
yeah. The real problem here is my 8-year-old Logitech joystick doesn't light up.
It's not even it's just a stick then, isn't it?
It's just a
Jeez.
fucking stick.
it's a sad stick, not a
Yeah,
joystick.
there's no joy in that. Jesus.
The irony of this whole situation is I actually really do like when peripherals light up, like genuinely. I'm just making fun of the fact that I do.
You can rate a peripheral solely by its lighting system.
Yes.
Oh yeah, man.
Absolutely.
The LEDs are absolutely critical to do any kind of computer activities.
100%.
Ultra confirmed.
Mm.
Man, oh
right.
man. Are we good?
We have fun here.
Should we play a role-playing game?
Does it light up with a G symbol?
Yeah, we will. Like, we're playing in like a space opera, 80s inspired future sort of thing. So
Everything lights up with a G
like if it doesn't light up, it's probably broken.
Yeah.
My
Hey, remember
undies
the
light up
neon
with a G
togas?
symbol.
Oh, those togas, bro. Put those togas behind you, mate. They're long gone.
I don't know.
That's in a parallel universe. But look, they definitely did light up a lot.
Yeah. No G symbols though.
Probably not.
Damn.
No.
All right, well, let's give this thing a crack and see where we end up.
Get us back on rails, please.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to breathe after that.
That was pretty good. Solid Logitech rant.
Okay, so here we are, where Ellis, Calloway, and Guy have just had a rude awakening out of their simulated environment and gone into a meeting with the elders of the council tribe from the planet in which they're, part of the colony of, and there's a single colony of humans, haven't met any other humans from anywhere else, and they're cut off from the rest of the galaxy. They're trying to build up technology and resources enough to build some significant spike drives and start exploring their sector, but they just haven't got there yet. They just don't have the volume and the capacity or the precise knowledge to manufacture these spike drives. So
all the Logitech gear.
But there's G symbols everywhere you go.
I'm happy then. That's great.
Yeah. In fact, everything that lights up in this world lights up in proximity to your presence. So when you walk past things, they glow and then they fade and stuff. So
That's so
pretty. Yeah.
God damn
Wow.
it. We're probably going to get a copyright strike for all this.
No, I'll just make a lot of money. What are you talking about?
Sure.
I'll send them a new mouse.
Bro, I wish that's all it took.
Oh, well, you got the headphones for free. Let's be fair.
All right. All right. So here we are. The colony's trying to eke out their stance in this sector. In the solar system that they're in, the system that they're in, they are the dominant. Only, they're not the dominant. They're just the only intelligent life there. They've got a few mining outposts here and there. They don't have a lot of presence everywhere in the system, and they don't have a lot of satellites and stuff and comms things. So it's very much like the Wild West. Like if you're going out to the rim of the system, you gotta. If you want to contact someone, you got to like travel back into the middle somewhere where you can sort of reach someone. It's not. It's the edge of the system is like going off grid almost sort of thing.
Guy Powers goes to the rim all the time.
Oh yeah, he sure does. And so that's a reminder of the setting and the sort of the vibe of where we're at. And basically, you guys have passed this test to sort of test your mettle and your prowess in a situation under pressure, and you somewhat succeeded, which was quite hilarious. If you haven't gone back and watched the earlier episodes of how the that resolved in the pyramids and the ruins and stuff, you should go back and check that out. That was fantastic. It was so awesome. Yeah, a bit of fourth wall there. That was fantastic what we did last week on episode 1. So here we go. Yeah, the council have happy with you guys, and they're ready to set you a task. You had a few tasks presented to you. You chose to explore the energetic disturbance. Should we just for interest just go over the other couple of options that were given to you, so you know what you missed out on?
Yeah, I think one was wasn't one to do with investigating some equipment that was malfunctioning somewhere or something like that, or.
So there was a missing scientific unit on an exploration mission.
That's right, yeah.
There was delivering some equipment to a small research outpost on a fringe outpost. And so basically each of the elders or each of the members of the council here had a task in mind, and they were like, well, we'll let they're very driven by the people and driven by what people want to do. So when they said, you guys passed the test, here are your options, you guys chose to that path. So that's cool. So basically, I think we're at a point now where we're sort of prepping to go on this little trip. You guys have a scout ship at your disposal. It's there's not a huge number of ships. Like I said, manufacturing isn't at a high volume or anything yet. You guys sort of trying to any piece of technology or any piece of spacefaring technology in particular is coveted and looked after and protected, because hell, if you lose a few ships, who knows when we're going to be able to start producing ships again. That's the sort of vibe. So so you guys have a scout ship. I think where we were at was trying to just quickly go through a bit of the meta level stuff of like trying to figure out where what things you're taking, any prep work that you're doing in terms of on-world investigation or conversations with anyone in the colony that you want to have a chat to before you go out and do this. So I'd like you guys to think about, feel free to invent some people. Feel free to think about your character's backstory and understand. Maybe. There's room for adding texture here. It's an option for you. You don't have to. You might just say, I grab my guns, I jump on the ship, let's go. But here's an opportunity for you guys to, before you go off grid for what could be a couple of weeks, or could be a couple of days. Who knows what this energetic disturbance is out in the depths of the magnetic interference, crazy interference realm of the ice belt.
And is there an outpost that we're aware of on this ice belt, or?
So that's a pretty good question. I think at this point there hasn't been. I mean, you could have a conversation with Nishi, or if you've got thinking of the organizations, the main factions on the colony. There's the Quanta. I think, is that Nishi?
I think so. Definitely rings a bell.
Let me just have a quick look. Where have I got the people's? Yeah, Nishi's Quanta. So Quanta is the resource faction, and they're like driven to, basically mine the shit out of everything they can. So they may have had sent some scout ships out in the past, but have turned up nothing. Basically, there was just like, yeah, look, there's stuff to mine out here, but hell, it's a long way, and we haven't really figured out how we're going to transport a lot of this stuff back, and we haven't figured out how we're going to build a mining outpost out here yet. But there's obviously a ton of resources, so it's kind of like chicken and the egg. We want to get all of those resources so we can build something to go get all those resources. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've got a vest
today.
Pardon?
It was like Astroneer today.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's right. You'll find out over the next few weeks.
Totally was. Oh, dude, so many plugs in this video. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, good thing I've got this 8-pack like power pack down here. Just put all those plugs in.
Just look. I think. Anyway.
I think I need to be kicked off the show. Is what we're
Too much plugging
leaning
is
towards
happening
here.
right now.
That's all good. So I think, look, it makes sense that the Quanta Resources guys have had a vested interest in this part of the system. However, haven't been able to operationalize around it. They haven't been able to get out there and actually sink some teeth into it. So that's
Okay.
what there isn't an outpost there, but there would have been some scout ships that have done some trips like some time ago in the last year or two.
And would they have come back with any information that the council's willing to share with us, or?
I mean, so the way, just to encourage a different approach to that question, would be, I'm going to go have a chat to the pilots, or I'm going to look up the mission logs, or I'm going to look, engage with the universe rather than ask for permission.
I guess I'm just wondering what my in might be. I mean, Alice does have like some sort of familiarity with Rachel Hamilton, who comes from Tomlinson Innovation. Who I think are like the engineering sector.
Right.
So maybe
right. So Tomlinson and Innovation and Quanta are very much aligned. Like, the engineering people want resources to build shit.
Yeah.
And the resources people want engineering to build massive mining rigs for them.
Yeah.
So they're very closely aligned. Probably of all of the factions, they're the two that are like, they work sort of hand in hand quite a lot.
Totally.
Yeah. So where are you going to go with that link?
I'd probably talk to Rachel because there is some sort of like assumed history between Ellis and Rachel, given Ellis's previous line of work. So probably just after the meeting, or maybe before we're shipping out, Ellis would have a chat to Rachel and just say, look, I heard there was some previous missions out in this area. Have you got any readings I can take a look over with the previous logs from the other ships? Has anything been recorded that I can take a look at so we can so maybe I can be a bit more prepared with the readings that I need to gather when we head out.
Cool. So she, you catch her in her office, and she's smashing away at a few data slabs, and there's some air plants that are hanging from some pots. The ones that don't need soil and stuff. There's this sort of, very bit Spartan, but there's this touch of nature in that room, and she's welcoming of you to come in. You guys have a previous working relationship, and she's pleased to, she's happy to oblige, and so she flicks you a whole bunch of the flight logs. Mm-hmm. So you've got all of the data effectively that would have been recorded from all of the sensor logs and from all of the all of that sort of jazz. Anything that would have been logged from a technical perspective. And she would also send you like the sort of scout, captain's log sort of stuff as well, which is basically at a cursory glance. So the technical stuff you could probably interrogate later if you needed to, or if you wanted to check against it. I'd probably do that on the
trip when we're like, once we're on the ship, I'd probably dig through them while we're shipping out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably won't. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to do some rolls there, but I think at a cursory glance, the captain's log just indicates there's a shit ton of stuff we can mine out here. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of magnetic and I guess sort of other interference issues. So basically, sensors were a bit bodgy, and trying to navigate anything large enough that's like a large sort of bulker that's got all of the mining rig that you want to build was going to be really challenging, and there didn't seem to be any really clear location to set up an outpost, because in the ice belt all of the rocks and stuff are moving around fairly fairly rapidly. I guess there's nothing that's sort of stationary that they could uncover. So it's a volatile space, but it's resource rich.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got a very important question, and if you could direct me to who I could ask to get this information, that'd be great. So, considering that's an ice belt, do they have a bar?
Deadpan. Holy shit.
Such a good pan.
As a human, I'm joking, but Guy Powers really wants to know.
Sorry, just 2 seconds.
This guy.
That close up though.
Yeah.
Look, you might
real
have to
nice.
establish a bar there though. Like, come on.
Oh, can we? Oh, guys, we're gonna wreck the ship. We're gonna like crash it into the biggest roid, and we're going to set up a bar.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Iceberg drinks are free. What are you setting up Club Tropicana on an iceberg in memory of George Michael?
What's the bar going to be called?
Klaxon 5.
Tropicana.
I thought Klaxon 5 was already the bar on Froth, the moon of our planet.
No, I thought that was Frothy's.
Oh, maybe it is, yeah. Alright, fair point.
All right, let's stay focused. So everyone that Guy asks about a bar, like, I like it because he'll go up and ask pretty much anyone. So about that ice belt, is there a bar? And everyone just like kind of like stares at you like this, gives you like they'll be tinkering on something, and then they'll go and just ignore you, kind of thing. They're like, "Are you serious?"
I can't believe I'm the only raging alcoholic in this colony. What is happening?
But all the raging alcoholics probably can't be bothered establishing their own bar to get the alcohol. Like, there's easier options than setting up in a
just gotta
volatile
steal-
ice
See,
belt.
You're an entrepreneur, Guy Powers. All the other raging alcoholics just go to their job, go to the bar, go to the job, go to the bar. But you're a thinker.
That's right, because Guy Powers he's not an alcoholic to forget or just to get drunk and party. He's not an alcoholic for the booze. He's an alcoholic for the way it makes him look and for the social experience. That's why he drinks rum.
All right, very good. Okay, so there's some good information gathering there, Ellis. Interesting attempt there, Mr. Powers. And Mr. Parker, is there anything that you wanted to on an information level? I guess we'll get to an equipment prep layer in a sec. Is there anyone you wanted to tap on the shoulder or anything like that?
No, Callaway would just be pretty much leaning against the wall, taking all of this in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not the. He's just gonna do what he's told basically. He's not the
Okay.
type to really ask too many questions.
Just having a quick look at your character's background as well, being a researcher adventurer, you're like a team escort for research teams and stuff like that, generally speaking. So, the security detail for, when you come across maybe some local, aggressive local flora and fauna that need to be dealt with, that sort of thing. So it's probably unlikely that there's ever been any away missions per se from the ships, in the ice belt. So there's probably not much that any of the research teams that you're connected with would have had any experience with. So yeah, that makes sense that you kind of like just playing that, hanging out on the fringe, just watching.
Yeah.
Kind of thing while everyone's sort of gathering their shit together. Maybe you're like shadowing Ellis a bit, just sort of keeping an eye on this like autistic fucking mechanic.
Yeah, I would ideally be like, I would be basically looking to find out when we're going to look at the gear we're taking and.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's segue into that right now then. So let's talk about the gear that you'll be loading up for on the scout ship to take with you.
Rad.
So just looking at character sheets, it looks like Callaway Parker has some weapons for, I guess, ranged weapons, but I guess person-to-person weapons, not ship-based weapons or anything like that.
Yeah.
And the only person who's got ship-based combat is Guy Powers. Has some skills in combat gunnery.
Yep.
So yeah, you're more of an away mission dude, and Guy is kind of like I'll stay in the ship and just shoot shit from here.
Blast
Yeah.
everything.
But I'll want to go on the away mission.
Cool.
Do we have
yeah.
a pilot?
That's Guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he can't be pilot and gunnery.
We'll play. I'll allow that.
Wouldn't you have guns on the front of the ship?
I guess so, yeah. The ship can be like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's if the scout ship even has weapons. Jesus. It's probably got some like low level.
It's got to have like a
laser
mining
stuff.
laser on it or something, right? Like a scrub
And
gear
just-
mining laser.
Yeah.
Just for my own interest in like the ship porn of it. What kind of weapons are we talking about here? Are we talking like Star Wars weapons where it's point and shoot? Or are we talking I'm flying the ship with the badass flight yoke and I'm like programming coordinates and shoot over there while I'm flying? Like
That's
Star
pretty cool. I think it'll probably, in this scout ship, it'd probably be more like 80% of the capacity for it is point and shoot, but there would be like some, you would be able to run some quick algorithms or some wicked coordinate hacks to like sharpen your accuracy.
I gotcha.
That's
You
where
might be able
Alice
to
was
roll.
straight up MacGyver, the navigation systems.
MacGyver the gimbal dog.
Yep.
Well, let's see how you guys work together. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But
Take the
I'm
weapon
just trying to.
systems down.
I'm just looking up equipment, trying to find why won't that expand? Expand, god damn you! Starships, fittings, weapons, defenses. So yeah, like something low level, like looks like multifocal laser is probably the main thing that would be on the scout ship, which is just a low damage laser, just like pew pew. Biscuit. All right, so let's talk about any other equipment or anything that you guys want to bring. You've got access because now you're like this, council elite team. I think you guys have got to come up with a name for like your little mob, the little crew.
Yes.
I've got to ask,
Guys,
what
Guardians of
came
the Galaxy
to
moment.
your head, Rick, as soon as Space Master said that?
Not a specific name, unfortunately, but I was
No?
just thinking like that scene in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm surprised you
Let
didn't
me
go
get
Team
their name.
Logitech.
No. Where this is, we're too deep into my fandom now. We can't joke around with this.
Okay.
What's coming? What's bubbling to the surface?
You
You want some time? Do you want some time?
I think we're going to need some time, but it's got to be absurd and it's got to be like overly confident and maybe self-righteous, like an upper self, like very much like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like
It's
a
they're
name
bunch
Guy
of
Powers
knobs.
would think of, basically.
Yeah, they're a bunch of knobs. The audacity that they have to call themselves the Guardians of the whole galaxy, right? Something like that.
Okay. We'll simmer on that for a little bit. That'll come up. Write some notes as you go if it comes to mind. But what I want everyone to do is to make a. I kind of want everyone to like before we maybe go into any more equipment detail stuff. I just had this thought that you guys would have your own networks on Ether Prime where you've got people that you work with or people that you have worked with or whatnot. So how about we do a quick culture Ether Prime roll for everybody, and I want to see who scores the highest.
Sure. And by the way, guys, the macros on character sheets have been fixed, so you can just go find Culture Ether Prime, which you should have loaded in, and just press that little dice button like this.
Yep.
Attribute Wisdom, would it be?
This is a charisma roll.
Charisma. Ooh, saucy.
Yeah.
I got terrible charisma, though, I'm pretty sure.
I think
pretty
most of
sure
you
I
guys
do.
have terrible charisma.
My charisma is just 0.
It's just a 0, yeah.
Yeah, it would be. Oh, 4. Dang.
5.
Mr. Powers, have you found your button?
Yeah, I'm just
That's not
Hey,
a
now.
sexy question either.
I know. I'm just checking. I do actually have rock and roll charisma, so I do have a +1 assisted. I should, I believe.
Shit.
And
I
if you,
got 14
if you
charisma.
if you just pick charisma as the attribute when you roll, it'll put it in there.
Don't add an additional assisted because it's factored into the button.
Splendid.
Click it, baby. Oh, mate.
Ooh, and it's a red box. That means you got a.
Does that mean I crit bad?
You crit failed one die.
You anti-crit.
Christ.
Wow. Okay, look, no one actually got a 7 or higher.
Nope.
Alright, well, that information is going to have to remain
Oh, no.
hidden. I can't.
Look, I won't metagame. Just tell me. I won't
Metagame, just tell me.
So hold on. We can't spin that maybe Guy Powers has some sort of special drunk charisma.
Hang on. No. I'm an expert. I want to reroll.
Ooh. Saucy.
Yes, you game the shit out of this, buddy.
Alright, I'm going to reroll.
Do it, Mr. Parker.
Do it.
Do it, Mr. Parker.
The suspense, bro. Oh.
Ooh,
He
okay.
snuck it.
Here's an example where you might want to use one of those aspects we brought in from Fate. So if there's... Actually, how do we do this? So I think what the mechanic is, if you've got like Fate points, I don't know if you can spend a Fate point to use an aspect to get a favorable outcome.
Yeah.
So
None of my aspects really fit that.
I was just thinking Guy was trying to pull my character would probably swindle some information out of someone. So I don't know if do we dish out Fate points like a couple just to start with or anything like that?
I
don't think we did. No, we just kind of established what our traits or whatever they're called are.
Okay, so let's do this thing. So I'm gonna add Fate points to everybody. Everyone's got 1 to start off with. The way that they work is you can retroactively use it to fix a roll. You can use it to engage an aspect to a benefit of yours. To earn Fate points, you have to engage an aspect of yours in a way that negatively impacts the situation. So you have to take a hit sort of thing in order to earn a Fate point to use that aspect positively later on, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And so that can be, you might explain a little anecdote that indicates how an aspect has turned sour for you in some sort of preparation or in some activity, or it might be in the middle of the thick of it in the action. Once we like take off and we start playing in space and in the ship and stuff, you might use an aspect in the thick of it to have some sort of minor or major negative impact, and then that could earn you Fate points. So I'm just making a note on my sheet here that everyone's got 1 Fate point.
Cool. I'm going to put that as just a note underneath my Fate points, or my Fate traits, or whatever they are. Points 1.
Great it.
So if I invoked, sorry for the confusion. You may have explained it, but if I invoked, like one of my traits to a positive end, I would need to spend a Fate point for that reason, or to do that.
So you can't invoke an aspect for a positive end without spending a Fate. So if I fail to roll slightly, but then I'd be like, well, I've got tech obsessed, so I should have done better. Then I spend a Fate point to add a +1 or to re-roll it or something like that. Yeah, it's just like you'd fudge it to if you spent 2 Fate points on it, it'd be like a super success.
Gotcha. All right.
But if it's just you spending a point to turn a shitty roll into think about it like if it's just a barely like if it's a 6, because 7 is a pass generally speaking. If it's a 6, you could turn it into like a 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
But if it's a 9, 10, you could turn it into 11, 12.
Gotcha.
It's like bumping it up. But if you're a 6 and you've got 2 points, you could potentially turn that 6 into a 11 or 12 because you're going up 2 steps, sort of thing. So
I feel it.
But we'll play that as we go. I know it's a bit confusing because we don't have it fully documented and we haven't really been using that mechanic, but it's just there. I want to maybe tease it out. So Callaway, you totally, even though you're a loner, I'm interested to know how this loner has somehow grabbed some information about yet to be revealed. I'm just curious, what's the network? So this is talking to the relationships and networks you have on the planet in the colony.
So the way I saw it would be kind of like him talking to the people he does jobs with, basically.
So like his usual like throng of science nerds.
Yeah, the researchers. They'd be pretty in the loop, surely.
Cool. All right. Well, that works out really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick chat to Parker, which is a whisper. So this is using Roll20's functionality here, where I'm going to whisper. So
this is so meta right now.
So the VOD isn't going to capture this, I don't think, because I'm not recording it. So that's interesting. And it's up to him. It's up to Parker whether or not he shares this, or how much of it he shares, or whatever. And so,
mate,
this is so. Look, now we own the video, though, Rick. We can say whatever we want. Like, fuck those guys, right?
So
that spacebar's not telling us shit. What a fucking joke.
What a knob. How about that thumbnail though?
Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah, we're still live, so no one else can see the thumbnail. Just FYI.
It's like, no, I got you.
But like a bit of Sam Neill never hurt anyone.
Exactly, except in Event Horizon when he tore off all his skin and killed Jennifer Lawrence. I mean,
alert, though.
Larry Fishburne.
Oh man, what a good day that was, though.
Wasn't that a fucking good day?
That was fun times. Astroneer, everybody. If you're watching this VOD, we played so much Astroneer. It's going to be on our channels. Wait, can I point to Rick? He's down there. Oh, Rick and I did some saucy Astroneer recording with Stevens, and it was really, really, really fun. Pre-alpha, like, I can't believe when you did your This Is Not a Review, and you said it's so, like, it could be a complete game now if they just polished it in half the price. Yes. Easy.
Right?
Easy.
I don't understand that is pre-alpha, but
how much shit are they going to add? Oh,
so
these
that's how that part works.
We were having an important conversation too, just so you know. Like, we're also doing some meta information exchange. Just
we're going to finish this conversation after this is all done.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good old time.
What model of Logitech shit are you selling now?
Right. I'm gonna call Llama on the Logitech. Oh, by the way, Llama is I don't know. That's the word we use to say.
We have a word
back
for
to
that?
it.
Okay.
Well, I do in my team at work, so it's Llama.
See,
I love it. I was actually in a big meeting with more people than my team, and I called Llama. And I said, actually, just to explain to everyone who's not from my team, llama is the word when we say, look, we've gone off the path, we should come back to it. And the rest of my team said, what are you talking about, Ash? And I was just like, I turned into a giant beetroot. I was like, fuck you guys.
We actually have one. We have raccoon at work for that when we go off topic. Yeah. So the animals are actually a thing.
Are you putting the kibosh down on Logitech talk?
I'm putting the
because Rick's out. He's gonna get assassinated if he can't talk about Logitech. Here, man.
You gotta help me here. They're off on the side of the screen. You gotta help me.
Quadrupedal dromedary. Just saying it.
Laying down the kibosh.
Okay.
No, that's right. So some information that made it to Parker just in his little realm of prep, and so that may or may not become useful later. Right, and Guy, was there any way that you wanted to try and swindle an aspect in this situation?
I mean, honestly,
save it for later. Come on, we'll move forward.
Yeah. I feel like I would be the world's biggest jerk. Just trying to squeeze anything out. Like, it'd be creative as fuck, but I'd be an asshole for doing it. So let's keep going.
Okay, yeah. Save the asshole thing for later. That's, out of context, that sounds not great. But
you still need to find a boost hookup for when we get out there.
All right, so let's talk equipment. So what are you guys taking? It's potentially a couple of weeks away from the colony. The scout ship is very it's like there's one bunk room with 3 bunks in it, sort of thing. It's got enough air and water and basic powdered toast or whatever that shit is. You just add water and it basic
That
rations, basically.
Matrix grey
Like at
group.
the beginning of The Force Awakens.
Tasty wheat. What?
Yeah, the tasty wheat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, so it's got bare enough essentials to sort of get by for about 2 weeks.
Cool.
But the mission is expected to only take a couple of days.
Right.
So yeah, what any additional equipment that you may have in your this is what I would call reasonable. What do I call it? Reasonable assumption, like.
Okay.
Without going, well, I've got this amazing device that calculates the sexiness of everyone in a 10-foot radius. I know what you're thinking, Guy. But,
Well, actually, I have this amazing device that calculates the sexiness of everyone within a 10-foot radius. It's called MAD. So I'm gonna ask, like, how much storage space do we each have? Like, does the ship have? Is there room under the bunks? What do we got
Is
here?
there cargo at all, really?
There's like very, very minimal cargo. Like these scout ships would have been used, if you're a pilot, you would know this. The scout ships would have been used to transport people, generally speaking.
Okay.
There's probably 4 bunks actually to be like symmetrical and shit. So there's
So
probably a little
are
bit of
they
space.
ships, or are they more shuttles? Like,
Yeah, it's kind of.
because I want to know what they were built for, and
Yeah.
also what they were used for, if that is different.
Sure, I think retrofitted shuttles that have been used to sort of do some scouting missions and stuff because they don't have scout ships per se.
So we would have like a bunk and a locker each. So
That makes reasonable. That sounds reasonable. I think that's fine.
Can I get a length estimate?
like a tall locker, like a
About 9 inches.
I mean the ship.
Oh, sorry. You set me up good. I look. I'm not the ship porn guy that you are. So what do you think makes sense?
I mean, it depends what kind of ships we're working with here. If we're working, like, just to use some games as an example, if we're going like Elite Dangerous, the ships are going to be a lot bigger than you would expect. Or are they more Star Wars style ships where they're very compact and it's only the space you need, and the ships are very small as a result? Like, the hull isn't really fit.
Yeah. I think that's probably more the flavor. Keep in mind that the universe is this sort of 80s. We don't know how to do technology sort of stuff. Remember, it's that sort of early Space Odyssey vibe. It's that Total Recall vibe. It's that it's kind of like Tron vibe. It's like, we think this is technology because it's got glowing shit, but we don't know what design tech. Yeah, that's the one. Total Recall.
Can I send you a link?
You can.
To be like maybe something like this, maybe a little bit bigger.
Oh, I'd totally show this on the VOD if I could.
that's pretty good.
Like, I imagine probably bigger than that, because that's really tiny.
Yeah, I think something like that. And instead of it being like a cargo armored area in the middle, that's where the bunks are and living quarters and shit.
Yeah.
So
What Star Wars is this from?
What would you say, sorry?
What Star Wars is this from?
This is from the most recent one.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty. The ships in the most recent one are pretty sick.
Yeah, so
Cool.
I'm thinking
I can show
maybe
it.
four times, because this is really small, but like 4 times the size of this thing, which would mean really barely any space for crew, and then like a whole bunch of passengers.
sorry, what's the question?
I'm just sort of like, I'm saying like 4 times the size of this, which would be, if this thing holds 12 just sitting down and we need bunks. I'm sweating the details here because this stuff interests me, but tell me to shut the fuck up and move on if you want, right?
So you saying it should be bigger if it's going to be a shuttle because like that's a retrofitted shuttle, so it's meant to just move people from one planet to another in a space of a couple of hours, and then fuck off.
How many people?
Yeah, 12. There you go.
You reckon? Okay.
I reckon.
Let's say no bigger than twice the size of this, which really wouldn't be that big.
Okay.
All right, I got a good idea now. Let's do this. So we really can't take much cargo at all.
It's a people mover. It's a bus.
Okay.
It's a cab. But it's been retrofitted for scout missions, and it's like, it's pretty cramped little quarters, living quarters, and stuff like that. It's nothing like the Millennium Falcon's sort of
Crazy
luxurious layout and
even then, that's small.
Yeah, hollow chess table and shit. None of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about equipment. Anything that you guys are bringing that's additional to what's on your character sheets, because we should probably just hurry up and get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah. Oh well, just real quick, I was going to ask, like if Ellis went down to the shipyards and just had a look, our ship would be there, right? Presumably, sort of all geared up and ready to go.
Yeah.
It's
being like, there's a couple of mechanics just doing some spot welding and some whatever, just fixing it up.
Have I worked on a ship like this before by any chance? Would I have like a schematic for it back at my shop?
You probably have schematics for everything that has ever happened on the colony.
Totally. So. I'd probably just have a quick word to one of the mechanics maybe and just ask like. Because we're looking for some sort of energy disturbance, right? And Ellis's immediate thought is, well, is this ship equipped to actually read an energy disturbance? So, we did lose Guy Powers' feed, so maybe we should put a break in here. But real quick,
let's do the break and we'll come back to that.
Sure. All right, cool. Well, stay tuned. Part 2 of the VOD will be coming to you soon.